In this unit, we're going to discuss how we assess the quality of our LED flexi strips, how to understand what the quality factors are, how to be aware when you're selecting the LEDs for your future projects. I forgot to mention earlier, there are multiple names for this. Flexi strips, LED tape light. You just use whatever is comfortable. The first thing we're going to look at is the thickness of the PCB. How thick the PCB is indicates how much copper is used in the circuit board design. So some manufacturers or some people say 2 ounces of copper, 3 ounces of copper, 4 ounces of copper. It all depends on what heat or what temperature your LED is going to generate. If I don't get any directive from a manufacturer, I just like to take a calipers and see the thickness of our LED. Now, the thickness will indicate how much copper is used for the heatsink. And I'm going to show you a thin RGB LED. I'm going to hold up another RGB LED and you could see there's definitely a flop in this one and there isn't a flop in this one. So you want to know the PCB design. You want to know how much copper is used to keep this LED strong and robust. The other thing you're going to want to look at is the design of the PCB. So different manufacturers drive the LEDs at different current. Now remember, the more current you give the LED, you have an increase in brightness. However, you have a decrease in lifespan and you have an increase in heat generation. So you want to, all these variables have to be managed. So you want to look at how they're driving the LED, and you can't tell that from any of this information. If you get some electronics testing equipment, you may be able to see it, but I would usually ask them of a report. Now, I buy from source manufacturing companies. If you buy from brand name companies, you're going to get good quality LEDs out of the US. There's Cluse, there is Fireflex LEDs, there are a variety of companies, LED Linear, and they do that work for you. But me being a manufacturer or me being my own brand in my other company, I have to ensure that we use good quality components and we get all the reports to understand that the LEDs are going to work. In our 15 years of business, I've only gotten one manufacturer's defect and I had it addressed. And we also give suggestions in how we want our LEDs designed. The other area you're going to look at for quality is resistors. These are the ones that go bad. So these little resistors that you've seen on the circuit, if they're using poor quality resistors, those could really impact the function of your LED. Also IP ratings. So you would notice that IP ratings could affect the longevity of your LED because again, it's encased in silicone. So you're going to be trapping the heat onto the circuit board. Other manufacturers, or quality manufacturers I should say, they tend to increase the size of the thermal management before they wrap it in silicone. And when we get down to LED neon flex strips, you'll see that the circuit boards are distinctly thicker than the regular LED flexi strip. The last quality process is binning. You want to know if you buy the LED 10 years from now, if you're going to get the same bin number that it's allocated to. So binning is the next thing to look for when you're buying LEDs from a supplier, if they guarantee that. The other quality standards we're going to look for is certifications. Certifications are mandatory. It's a way to ensure safety, quality, reliability of all LED flexi strips. Even though some countries allow not to have certifications, you still want to have a good quality LED strip, and certification takes that out of the process. Now, even though you may have certifications such as UL, ETL, we've had certified lights fail. So what's really important is that you have a reliable supplier that's going to honor their warranty if something fails, and you can get back a real warranty or real aftercare support for the products you buy. So I'm going to quickly now dive into different certifications that are required. Certifications are a way to ensure the quality, safety, and reliability of the LED strips. These certifications demonstrate that the product meets specific standards set by the government or private organizations, helping buyers make informed choices and ensuring compliance with market regulations. Types of certifications could be voluntary, mandatory, it could be energy efficiency certifications, it could also be by region. The importance overall with strip certification is that it increases credibility of the source, because there are thousands, I would dare to say that there are tens of thousands of LED lighting manufacturers in the world. Certification is one way to narrow them down into who are the good companies to work with. So I'm just going to run through some quick certifications that you should know by name. In the States, the focus on the UL is safety. There's ETL, it's voluntary. The focus on it is safety. There's FCC, which is mandatory, and that is electromagnetic compatibility. So that's to ensure that these devices, they all give off electromagnetic signals, especially the controls, and you want to ensure that it's compatible, it's not going to cause interference. So FCC is really important. CUL US, it's the one in Canada, it's voluntary, it's safety. You have CE for the European Union, that's mandatory, that's another safety protocol. You have ROHS, which is applicant to the European Union, it's mandatory, and it's an environmental safety standard. You have Eco Design Directive out of the European Union, and we could touch on that later. That's mandatory. It's about energy efficiency. There's SSA in Australia, there's BIS in India, there is SABRE in Saudi Arabia, there's CCC in China. Those are all in regards to safety. Now, there's no mandatory labeling for the flexi strips, but I have seen flexi strips being labeled according to the energy label of the European Union, and they give it a grade, an energy efficiency grade from A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And if you want to understand more on it, you could just visit the European Union Understanding Energy label